Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, back doing a best of 3 Innistrad Midnight Hunt draft. Rare, Overgrown Farmland, not going to take that. We've got Nebelgas Intruder and Infernal Grasp. Both good cards. We've got Defenestrate, also good black removal in here. Tireless Hauler, good beater. Gavany Trapper is playable. Forager, I like because of the Rummage effect at the very least. And Stinger, good ultra aggro beatdown card. I think I can go with Infernal Grasp. I mean, Defenestrate, you don't have to pay life, but this just deals with everything for 1 less mana. So you don't always have 2 life to spare, but I do like that it just, any sort of problem creature taken care of. We got it. So let's take that and see what we're going to follow up with here. All right. In black, we have a Defenestrate. Could take that. Still haven't taken this Can't Stay Away. Outland Liberator's a good werewolf. Burn the Accursed in red. I mean, I'm okay taking Defenestrate. Deals with a lot of things. Organ Hoarder's a great card. Body plus card advantage, very, very good. Moonrager's Slash, some good removal as well. And you can burn face with it. Diagraph Rebirth. Double res effect. Pretty good late game value card, but I think I'm going to go with just Defenestrate, be happy enough about it, get some removal. See what keeps coming. All right, so now in red there's Siege Zombie and Novice Occultist. I know people were telling me not to sleep on this card, particularly because it works well with the decaying zombies. You can just sort of drain your opponent out. That's pretty good. I think I might just want the Occultist, though. This is just a very playable 2-drop card. Occasionally can trade with things, can help in gang blocks, and ends up netting you a card. I like it. Unnatural Moonrise, been playing this wrong. I always forget. I always read it, and then I just immediately forget that it makes things night. So as people pointed out in earlier videos, it definitely has cost me games. My own fault, of course, just not reading closely enough. This pack actually has some powerful things in it, too. I don't really like Fateful Absence, even in Limited. Making your opponent investigate is not that good. Seize the Storm is a good card, however, but it's okay. All right, well, we can take Eaten Alive. More good removal. Obviously very good with the Cultist. Mysterious Tome, I still like. Doesn't come up very often, but both sides are pretty good. Sacred Fire is definitely good if you're in those colors. Candle Trap, I think, is playable. I like Revenge of the Drown. I like Interloper. I never really have played it much in this format. It's more of an aggressive card. You're not really going to play it outside of that. So far, I've still found this format to be mostly mid-range value-oriented, but I've definitely gotten annihilated by Hyper Aggro, and it kind of looks like with a 5th pick, Vampire I was going to say Socialist. Vampire Socialist. You could start going that direction. I'm fine taking the Awakener, though. This card is still very good. I mean, we have a pretty good start to go down aggro vampire path, and this card is very strong for that. But Awakener is just very strong and leaves us more open. I suppose it's a pretty good sign that vampires are possibly open if we're getting a 5th pick, Lord, pseudo-Lord effect here with the Socialist. Let's take the Awakener, though. Can take another Awakener. Now we're starting to look like maybe the best path we go down is more of a white-black sack value deck. Moorcrep Behemoth, also good for that deck, but this is just cheaper, and you get cards out of it, which I like. Chaplain of Alms would also be good for this deck. You get a little sack fodder that also randomly has first strike and comes back later as a first strike flyer with more upside. Good card, but we'll take the Awakener. Might as well stick to black until we figure out what color our second color should be, basically. So I could take No Way Out here. I could also take Evolving Wilds. The obvious bonus of No Way Out, you get 2 cards out of your opponent's hand, and you get synergy with 2 Ecstatic Awakeners and an Eaten Alive. That's pretty good. To me, that's enough to justify it. Plus, like I said, I found the format to be a little bit slower. Obviously, there's aggro decks, but for the most part, a little bit slower. So You would also think this would be worse because there's Disturb and Flashback. cards, which I guess is a solid argument, but I've still found it to be pretty effective. So here we can take Morning Patrol, but I mean, probably just take Crawl from the Cellar. I've found this card to also be very good. Especially if you can get the +1/+1 counters. If you can't, it still ends up being good. Otherwise, we take a Disturb card, which once again just has good sack value because it can come back. And white does appear to be open, which is good, but I'm going to take Crawl from the Cellar. I like it. I think it's a good card. So we could take Gavany Trapper here, but maybe we just continue to cut black card. I think Blood Pact is totally playable. You can kill your opponent with it too, or you can get some value off of it yourself, draw some cards. Yeah, the Trapper, if we wanted to inch a little bit closer into white-black, but for now, taking Blood Pact, being happy about it. Well, I would say a 10th pick, Unruly Mob, is a good sign that the old sack deck is the direction we're supposed to be. Although Diagraph Rebirth, a black-green option we could consider, but I just really like the tools we have for the sack deck right now. We have the Awakeners, we have the Occultist, we have the Eaten Alive. Good synergies for it. Unruly Mob is quite good. And Unruly Mob works really well with Decay creatures too, because you attack with your Decay creatures, they hopefully get in and then die and trigger Unruly Mob. So, all right. 11th pick, Morning Patrol. Right where we want to be with this deck. I like Brimstone Vandal. I kind of underrated this at first, but I think it's a good card. Obviously, the Menace makes it. All right, Candle Trap. Even if you don't end up getting the Coven, it's still playable. Obviously, much better when you can Coven and make it so they can't even block anymore. Take the Raven Exorcism. Certainly a playable sideboard card. And Soul Guide Griff. Card I kind of like, actually. Well, that's a good start. So, follow-up, we can do the Cut Purse over Occultist, I would say is fine. But I guess we probably want this Rite of Oblivion, huh? Well, now, the thing is, we have all the... And actually, Search Party Captain would be fantastic here, too. But I think we just go Rite of Oblivion. Great removal. We have some decent sack fodder now. I'm much happier I have this No Way Out, because that's going to look a lot better with stuff like Rite of Oblivion and the Awakener. So we're getting all the things that want you to sack. Now we just need more stuff like Occultist. And I'm perfectly fine sacking a Captain, too. It's already done it. Cut Purse would be great for this deck, too, just because it comes back. But I'm going to take the Rite. It's hard to go wrong with the Rite of Oblivion. Great removal. So here we've got Stromkirk, Blood Thief, quite good. Haven't played much with it. Vampire-wise, we're running at 0 right now. But Morning Patrol is quite a bit less exciting. There is Siege Zombie, but we're not Black-Blue, where I think people are right. That's probably where this shines. I think we can just take the Blood Thief. It's a powerful effect. If you get damage in, you're pretty happy to just start inflating this thing. And I never get to play it. Otherwise, Cathar's Call, I've played against this a couple times. In theory, this should be a card that's really good for us because we have all of these things that want us to sack. But I found it to be play it, get a human creature, and then your guy immediately dies. Just from what I found. I actually really like Rotten Reunion. I think that card is good. I also really like Shady Traveler, though. And the reason I like Shady Traveler is there's not a lot of ways to flip Night and Day in black-white. Man, Clarion Cathars has better synergy for us, but I think it tends to go a little bit later. Anyway, I like being able to flip Night and Day in black because you have Liliana's, whatever the 2-mana -2/-2, and if it's night -13/-13. I like turning that on. It's also just randomly a 3-mana 2/3 that is occasionally a 4/4 menace, which is good. But good cards in general in here. Another Socialite, quite strong. But I'm going to take Traveler over the Cathars, even though Cathars synergistically better for the deck. Okay, more cards that require us to sack? I guess so. I mean, I'll take Eaten Alive. Happy enough about it. Played against Sun Gold Barrage quite a few times now, and I'm always surprised that it is able to find targets. But indeed it is. Here I think we take the Search Party Captain over Rotten Reunion. I really do like Rotten Reunion, and it's great for our deck, and it's great in the format, I think. But Search Party Captain, just netting a card, giving us some good sack fodder. I really like that a lot. Cathar Commando would totally be playable too, but happy to get the captain there. Another Unruly Mob. Well, I mean, it is kind of precisely what the deck wants to do. Another Shady Traveler certainly wouldn't hurt either, but I'm just hoping I can maybe wheel some of those Rotten Reunions. We'll see. But, I mean, Unruly Mob is kind of exactly what the deck wants, I think. So here we could take another Griff, or we can take the Blood Tithe Collector. I think this effect is pretty powerful. They're both 3/4s. Exiling cards in graveyards is very relevant in this format, but making your opponent discard can be quite harsh too, especially when you get a flyer on top of it. All right, now I'm going to take the Occultist over the Crawl from the Cellar and a third Awakener. I think in a vacuum, Awakener is actually a better card than Occultist, but given that we have 2 Eaten Alives, 2 Awakeners, Rite of Oblivion, I feel like I'm even missing some other way to sack. I just want the Occultist to really make sure that we have both sides of the equation here. We need the things I want to sack, and we need the things that want you to sack. A third Occultist. Perfect. I had a patient in the hospital tell me, everybody says perfect nowadays. And now that she told me that, it's all I hear. It's like the only word that everybody ever uses. Everybody just says perfect over and over again. It's insane. All right, let's take Cathar. Great for our deck. Really happy to see that pick 11. And we're in good shape here. I mean, this deck is right where we should be. Someone's getting a last pick Tavern Ruffian, huh? Well, that's good. Thankfully, our archetype is open. Brutal Cathar. I haven't gotten to play with this yet. Played against it. It's a good card. Just flipping and stealing. The ward effect on the backside is quite good. It's got First Strike on the back. It's good. Bat Whisper, definitely good for this deck. You have to deal the damage, but I found this card to be very playable, and getting a bat for more potential sack fodder and things dying, quite good. We're already at 23 cards. My new thing is playing 16 lands, though, so we'll just take the Cathar, and that can be our 24th card. Maybe the first cut will be... Wow, got some good options here. Could take another Shady Traveler. Can take the Silversmith, which is good, or I can take the Rotten Reunion. Currently, we don't have a lot of need for Night Day. We didn't end up getting the Liliana's Thinger, but I could take Rotten Reunion. Gives you 2 bodies, can stop flashback, sack fodder, stuff that dies for Unruly Mob. We didn't get the Rotten Reunions back either. Getting rid of flashback is just relevant. I'm going to diversify and take the Rotten Reunion. I think it's just a nice effect to have. We currently already have a deck. Both those cards may be better, and wow, talk about a good card for our deck. Adeline. Good card in general. You play white, you're thrilled to have Adeline. Adeline? Madeline. Adeline. Adeline. Any way you pronounce it. Spitting out 1/1s for us, obviously very good. We'll take it. Moorcrop Behemoth would be a great pickup for this deck too, but obviously taking the Adeline there. Ooh, Dreadhound is real strong. Real strong card. This is one of those, you're just inevitable, somebody's going to die sort of cards. We got 16 creatures. I mean, another Eaten Alive certainly wouldn't hurt. I'm going to take Dreadhound because I've just found this card to be really exceptionally strong. I don't think we need the Blood Pact. I don't think we're going to need the Candle Trap. Could be wrong about that. We'll see. And we still have to make another cut after that. Well, that's a good spot to be in, I guess. All right. Obviously, Diregraph Horde. Love this card. Super strong. Great common. Doesn't even feel like a common. Covert Cutpurse comes back. Oh, wait. This is a new pack. Covert Cutpurse is just here. Well, I'm taking it. Great card. Lets you attack with little things and convert your little things into killing their big things. Veteran, precisely what our deck wants. More sack fodder, gains life, gives you more late game abilities. Wow, 3 Unruly Mobs. Well, I don't think it's too many. I mean, just what this deck the doctor ordered here. Bat Whisper, I mean, I like Trapper, but I like Bat Whisperer more, just getting the 2 bodies, one's evasive. Shady Traveler, I'll take a second one. Happy to get that. Well, we got a great deck. Lot of goodies in here. Yeah. Well, it's a late rise of the ants. I'll take another morning patrol, though at this point I'm not even sure the first one's making it. All these shady travelers, huh? This is just pretty crazy. How many vamps did we get? We even got 3 vampires. The blood thief, the collector, sun gold barrage for sideboard. And there's one that I'm missing. Oh, the bat whisperer. That's right. Okay, cool. Let's figure this out, shall we? So 16 lands. Now for the cuts. Oh, geez. 25 creatures? Jeez. I suppose we can cut 9 creatures then, huh? If I really want to, yeah. Because we even have more than that if you count No Way Out. I think the patrols can go. It's cool they have Disturb, so they come back, but they just feel like they're on the weaker end, probably. Maybe Rotten Reunion for sideboard. I really like it in here with the sack stuff, but I think we have enough sack fodder now. 3 occultists. We've got the Cathars, the Whisperer. I actually really like the Shady Travelers, but maybe we don't need 3 of them. I don't even know. We've got the way too many good things deck going on right now. Do I need the Griff and the Collector? Maybe not. Collector probably slightly better. Do we need the Crawl from the Cellar too? Because did we... Zombie-wise, we have just the Diagraph Horde, and then we've got No Way Out that makes zombies technically, but Crawl from the Cellar is +1/+1 counter is a lot less sexy if it's just putting it on a decaying creature, but still, it's not a big deal. It's still value. What am I bringing back with Crawl from the Cellar? Well, we've got Adeline. We've got Dreadhound. Those are some pretty big, beefy targets. Maybe 3 shade... Man. I mean, Shady Traveler's going to be less good in here because we didn't end up with the night day value stuff, but it's still like a 3 mana 4/4 menace sometimes, which is just incredibly strong. At least cut 1. Is Blood Thief going to be good in here? A problem with Blood Thief in this deck that I'm seeing is I don't feel like we're... Well, I was going to say I don't feel like we're beating down our opponents that often. Like we're making them lose life like an aggro deck would, but we do have like Awakeners, which are just going to be, I mean, consistency-wise, Awakener, Occultist, turn 3, attack Awakener. Do I just draw 2 cards and get a 4/4? Yeah. I mean, that's very strong. This effect is strong. It builds real fast, and then eventually you get a huge creature, and they're having to take damage, and it's only getting bigger. That is good. Do I cut the Travelers? This is insane. Way too many good things, deck. I love it when I have that. Well, jeez. I don't even know. What did I end up with a removal? 2 Eaten Alives, the Infernal Grasp, the Defenestrate. That's pretty good. I kind of want to keep the No Way Out. Maybe I cut the 2 Travelers? Jeez, that's tough. Brutal Cathar, another creature. Yeah, Crawl from the Cellar, way too good to cut here. Brutal Cathar, Adeline, however you want to pronounce it. Too many good things. We can cut 3 more creatures. Maybe one of the 5 drops goes. Probably the... I actually like Soul Guide Griff, but it probably goes just because I guess I give Slight Edge to Collector. I think even if I didn't have Blood Thief, I'd still probably give Slight Edge to Collector. I mean, you always get to exile from Graveyard with this, but making your opponent discard sometimes and getting a 3/4 flyer, that's good value. So I kind of want to keep all my vampires, especially since this one gives me some sack fodder. But I'm kind of at the point where I don't even know what to cut anymore. We've got all these good synergy cards and removal. Like, what's the weakest cards in our deck? It might be No Way Out, as much as I loathe to admit it. This is just such a good effect sometimes, though. Especially since we're, like, kind of grinding I feel like this is a grind your opponent out deck. This isn't I'm gonna beat you down deck. This is a I'm gonna make these things huge. You're not gonna have cards in hand. I can deal with anything you draw. That's what this deck is. So it kind of, I guess, makes Blood Thief and Whisper slightly less sexy options. I mean, they're just great cards, but when we've got the, I forget what the expression is. Something of riches. Maybe someone can figure out what I'm trying to say, but what's our color looking like? Way more black than white. We do have double white though, so we'll probably do the 8-8 split. Great deck. Love this deck. Looks very strong. We've got the synergies. We've got the black-white sack value stuff going on. Looks like a lot of fun. We'll run it like this. We'll see you round one. All right, round one. I think we'll mull this one. I got a bunch of black spells with some white mana. This one's much better. We'll ditch a land. Oh, it's a good draw too. I think we still want to... Well, that's a good question, actually. What do we want to roll out first? Because if I do Awakener into a Cultist, then I can attack for 4 on turn 3, but I miss out on some life gain. We're more of a... I'm going to go Veteran route, actually. Like, attacking for 4 on turn 3 is good, but remember, we're not a beatdown deck. We've got good mid-range value, so no need to get too ahead of ourselves here. Did I tell you guys I love mirror matches? My favorite thing in Arena is the mirror match. I just love playing against the exact same thing that I just drafted. I almost want to wait a turn on the Awakener. It doesn't really add anything. Well, it lets me attack next turn with it. That's true. I'm going to hold off a turn. I just don't want my Awakener to die. I mean, they'd have to play a spell to kill it, and I could attack with it, but I don't know. It feels too important right now to have my Awakener. I'm still gonna sack. I'm gonna draw 2 cards here. So I got rid of an Infernal Grasp. I drew 2 cards. I lost 2 creatures. Overall, I think it's okay. So we'll see what I maybe get to eat something with this Brutal Cathar. That would be nice. So I guess we'll take the Siege Zombie. I'm okay, kind of hanging out for now. So, all right. I think I'm just going to Infernal Grasp the Siege Zombie now. And the reason I'm doing it now is in case they have some sort of way to sacrifice it, protect it, whatever, or on their turn just pass and then, I don't know, have a way to like make us lose more life. I have 2 Eaten Alives in hand. I can deal with more pressing things. I'd rather Eaten Alive and Occultist if I had to, just so they don't, you know, draw cards or whatever. I think I'm okay trading here since I don't have any creatures left in hand anyway. I think I'd take 3 here. So I guess I'm gonna defenestrate a 1/1 token. Probably need to prevent some damage now. Can I afford to take 2? I don't really want to defenestrate a token. If they don't play anything at the end of their turn, I guess I will. I don't want them to know about this, but I also do get some more information out of it. They learn about 1 card, I learn about 2. I'm okay with it. We're getting more information overall. And they don't have 2 lands in hand. So they're just holding on to 3 lands? I'm very confused. So you're struggling to get lands the whole game, and then your plan is just hold on to lands? All right. Got it. What do we want to do different? Our deck is, from what I've seen, very much better than our opponents. I mean, it's a mirror match, so we're going to have a lot of the same cards, but we've got, you know, better cards than Cathar Commando and Siege Zombie in here, I would say. Still have the No Way Out. I'm okay with that. I like it, in fact. Didn't see any flashback things, so we don't really need the Rotten Reunion. I mean, they could have some rares in there too, definitely. I don't like our removal as much here. Like defenestrate. I mean, it's still fine. What am I going to run instead? Like a Soul Guide Griff? Do I really want to cut removal for more creatures? Not necessarily. Defenestrate didn't look great, but I'd still like to be able to kill a Siege Zombie or a Cathar Commando if I have to. And I don't know what I'd run instead. Am I doing like Shady Traveler, so I have some big fat like menace dudes to attack and block with? I mean, it's not bad. But, I mean, we still have 17 creatures. I think we're We're good. And we have the crawl from the cellar to get some additional value. That's a lot of lands, but we'll keep it. Got a lot of sack outlets, so just need to find them. Disturbs for 4 and you get a 2/1. I think I'm okay killing that. I mean, I could eat and alive it. Maybe that makes more sense because it's got disturb. Then I'm out. Well, I get to draw a card though. I kind of like it. Oh, plus I can get it back with crawl from the cellar. Yeah, that's actually good. Okay. All right, well, maybe we don't need to cast Call from the Cellar yet. Casting Crawl from the Cellar would have actually... Well, I mean, I could do it now, too. Do I want another Occultist back? Kind of want to get my Collector back a couple times. I think that's ultimately going to work a little bit better. So I could exile that. I think we'll just do Collector. We've got the Crawl from the Cellar, so might as well start utilizing that. They can Infernal Grasp it or whatever they're going to do to it. I mean, even doing Eaten Alive on their Occultist where I draw a card and they don't is not bad. So I get to exile it. See if they have Eaten Alive. Oh, Rite of Oblivion. Okay. A lot of exile effects in this color combination, huh? Might as well get the other one back, I guess. Guess we can grasp. Defenestrate deals with less things, but this makes it so if I didn't draw a land, I could do something there. Guess we'll sandbag the land. Because we can, well, I guess we can't cast everything, but because they have a discard effect of some sort. Ah, there's a good draw. I mean, if they kill our guy, I'm kind of happy. I'd much rather they kill it than exile it. At least I can crawl from the cellar and get it back. Well, Crawl from the Cellar gets a lot worse if you have your opponent's running like all exile effects here. I don't really want to Eaten Alive, but I'm not going to be able to take 2 damage a turn for a while, for an extended period of time either. Yeah, I guess I can for now. Yeah, that works. I want to draw a card, so we'll sack that. I think we'll block. We're kind of getting pretty desperate for a draw at this point. That's not a land. No, not exactly what I wanted, but that's all right. So I assume I'm going to get Infernal Grasped here, but as long as I can draw a card, I'm okay with it. Or would I rather kill the Silversmith? One draws a card, one buffs. I guess we'll kill the bigger creature. All right, see you for round 2. All right, play first. We'll keep. Looks like a good hand. Dover. Well, I'll offer the trade. It's a fine trade. Well, they didn't get the turn 2 flip. That's good. We definitely want to play Adeline here. So, I guess I don't love trading. I guess we just play Adeline and pass. This is a little bit tricky. If I attack, I get the 1/1, which is really good, but I think they just trade, and honestly, I think it just makes more sense to leave open the mana for Awakener to flip here. All right, ooh, play with fire. Jeez. That's a good one against our Awakener. All right, well, the good news is we're still in pretty excellent shape here. Jeez, and this is 2 mana too. How cool is that? Let me think about this. I guess it makes the most sense to go mob, swing with Adeline, and I think we just deal with Aberration now, since that just strikes me as one of the ways to lose this game. So they can pump Stinger, which is fine. So do I want to attack? Because we can play this for 1 mana too, which is cool. I think I'll just play the Awakener. And I think I'm just going to attack with Adeline here. I don't even want to offer the mob to the Stinger. And now I'll just leave up Awakener, I think. Could play the Captain here, which would also net us a card. But let's make mob bigger. Why not? And flip our Awakener, of course. Get a 4/4 on board. Well, guess we'll sack that instead. Gosh, it's almost like our deck is good. Isn't that weird? It's almost like we have a powerful deck or something. Do I need to play any more creatures? Well, the Captain does replace itself, but guess we can play around a board wipe. Technically don't have lethal if they have a blocker for Demon, but that's all right. Well, this works for me too. All right, I guess they just die. They showed us another card. I'm okay with that too. So we have Rotten Reunion for flashbacky stuff. They didn't show us any, but I mean, they're in red-blue. They could have the Elementalist, which brings stuff back from the graveyard. So Rotten Reunion still an option, but I still like No Way Out here. I still definitely like our spot removal for Delver and Dragon. I guess Defenestrate's starting to look a little bit, a little bit worse when you have Delver and Dragon, huh? Maybe we cut the Defenestrate just speculatively, and we'll bring in... we can do Rotten Reunion, we can do the Traveler, we can do the Whisperer, we can do the Blood Thief. All fine options. Could do the Candle Trap as well. Chances of us having Coven. Well, we had it right there. Let's do Candle Trap swap. That's also speculative, but if you can't Coven, it's not like Candle Trap does nothing. It still deals with a creature, even if it's temporarily. Good hand. Very good hand. Pit Fighter, huh? I remember renting Pit Fighter on Super Nintendo and being real disappointed. I'd probably offer that trade if I were them, but what do I know? Sunrise Cavalier, huh? It's a good card. We'll take it. So now we can go Adeline here and smash. It's a good card. So if I play 2 creatures here, they couldn't double block Adeline well, but I think what I'm going to do is just attack with the Awakener here. And they don't really have a great block. So I guess we'll kill the Cavalier, which does mean I think they're going to draw a card off of the Sage, but I don't know if that matters. I mean, it's obviously good, but we're pretty well advanced on the board at the moment. Sure. Locked in the Cemetery, on the other hand, I feel like is not so good against us, just because we have, and we can get rid of their hand here too, which is nice, but we have so many means to sack our dudes. But let's see here. I mean, we do No Way Out. We'll get rid of 2 of their cards. Oh, yeah, this will work fine, actually. So let's just attack with Adeline. It doesn't matter if they kill Adeline. We'll kill the Firmament Sage. We'll play No Way Out. We'll make them discard their hand. Yeah, kill the Sage. And then go No Way Out. Get our zombie. What do we get rid of? A couple lands, crawl from the cellar, get back Adeline, and buff our Decayed creature. Could have attacked first and then played the Forager. Got a little rummage off. All right, 5 whole mana here. What do we want to do? Guess we play Adeline so we can spit out more 1/1s here. Then we'll attack with these 3. Can't do the search party captain, so I think we'll just play another occultist here. So now we can go land, mob. So they could block the occultist. So maybe it just makes more sense to leave occultist back. Although, can they afford to take 6? Probably not. I'm okay with this. Like, they just kill a bunch of our dudes, we draw cards, my mob gets bigger. I'm okay with that too. All right, so now we can play captain. And then we can eat Gale Drifter and we'll sack the demon. Mob gets bigger. And pass. We can save the other Eaten Alive for something more dire. We can't kill our opponent yet, right? Let's see. Sack, token. This gets bigger. 6, 7, 8. I think it does, actually. That dies. Dreadhound. Your thing dies. Dreadhound. Oh, it exiles. Never mind. Still had lethal. All right. We'll see you for round 3. All right. Round 3. No black mana. I don't love that hand. Let's do a new one. This one I'll keep. We'll ditch a plains, I think. Yeah, well, no, that's fine. We have the occultist to hopefully supplement and find us more lands. Mirror match. No kidding. Interloper beats here, huh? Well, their pace is a little bit quicker than ours. Flesh Taker. That's a good one. Well, no way to deal with flyers. Let's sack this. Guess we'll see what they have in their hand here. Those are pretty good cards. Mask of Gristlebrand's a good one. All right. What do we want to bring in? So this deals with things we don't care about. Candle Trap's a nice cheap answer. Defenestrate we still want because of Flesh Taker and Shady Traveler, but it's going to be worse against the Mask of Gristlebrand as well, but that's okay. I think we'll bring in the Candle Trap. So they look pretty aggressive. Is that going to make No Way Out worse? Not necessarily. I mean, usually yes, but Bat Whisperer looks better because then we get blockers for interlopers too. That's true. But we have to deal damage, I guess. Covert Cut Purse. I don't love Covert Cut Purse here, but it is 2 bodies. Potentially. Infernal Grasp does look worse, but I still want to keep it. Just trying to optimize here. It's hard. Guess with the sack fodder, because they're playing... Yeah, Candle Trap's not going to be as good, is it? No, I don't think so. I kind of want this Bat Whisperer. I feel like it's going to be good against those interlopers. But do I just... it doesn't feel great doing a hard swap for Cathar either. Mob seems pretty important for the deck. I still like No Way Out. I mean, Bat Whisperer is good too because they have to sack 2 creatures to Flesh Taker to... Is it a swap for Cathar? It could be. I don't love it. All right. Man, that's tough. I don't know if I love that. Basically just speculating that possibly I can make my opponent lose life to get the bat when I'm on the play, so then it's better against Interloper. I don't know. That was a weird one. Keep this. Not the best use of mana here, but I'll do it anyway. Shady. Let's see. So, gonna attack here. Kind of okay with this, actually. I get a land. I can play the Cut Purse. Kill the Traveler. Get a body that I can sack to Rite of Oblivion in a pinch. Not bad. Well, I've got some options here, but I think we'll just go Mob. And I think we'll Infernal Grasp this so I can get in for 4. Because we still have Rite of Oblivion on both sides, plus No Way Out and all that nonsense. Well, much happier they played Diagraph Horde there. I don't want a Brutal Cathar Diagraph Horde. That seems a bit too dangerous. But I can deal with that and sack this. Make our mobs bigger. Exile that and get in for 5. Morbid Opportunist is a good one. So, might have to Brutal Cathar that. Just because too many card draws off of... we got 3 cards in hand. I mean, I'm pretty sure they have removal in there, but I guess the best way to play it is Cathar, eat the Morbid Opportunist. I guess I could eat the Sanctifier. No, I think we eat the Opportunist. And we'll attack for 5 here. So they're going to trade, and then I guess our guy will get bigger, which is not bad. So they kind of got to kill the Cathar, I feel like. They don't have a ton of choice. They need to get there. Oh, or maybe they do have a choice. We lose 2 value cards here, which is pretty bad for us. But maybe they don't have removal. Who knows? Dreadhound can't play that. We can attack with Awakener, though. And they probably don't want to block. They do. I'll sack an Unruly Mob and eat their Horde, which I'm also okay with. This will do that, and now we'll make them discard. Alright, well, we got rid of 2 relevant spells there. So Crawl from the Cellar can get back Mob, which is pretty good. We can flip Cathar, and at least the ward cost on that is so brutal. I think that's probably our best play. Paying the ward cost is not going to be great for them, I don't think. So now we sack the 2/2. Make our mob bigger, buff our Awakener. Draw that, get some more dudes. So then we can go Horde of our own here. And I guess we'll get rid of some creatures. Don't want to attack just yet. I think Dreadhound has got to be close to inevitable at that point, because then they can't even like sack to Flesh Taker here. Can I make my opponent lose enough life? I don't think so. I am just a land away currently from... I'm surprised they're not attacking with Morning Apparition. That must have been a mistake. So I can do Unruly Mob, and I can get a mob back, and I can buff my zombie. That's pretty good, actually. It's gonna flip my brute back too, which might actually be good, although they'll get creatures back. But I have multiple mobs on board here, so it's probably okay. I think we'll just flip back. So we'll eat their... yeah, what do we want to eat? We can eat their Flesh Taker. That might be the best one. Just because they can gain life off of it. So they can kill Cathar at some point. And then get dudes back, which we don't want them to do. Okay, so they have 5 blockers. They have 1 land left. Let's say they block our 5 biggest dudes. We definitely don't have lethal. So what's the play here? Could do a mob. Can flip Cathar back again. Let's just do mob. And I think we smash with these 4. This is gonna make our mob big. All of our mobs big. They go to 3 life. And then we'll play an occultist. So they found removal. They're going to sack their captain, it looks like. Oh. Well, that's not. I see. So they get it back, but nothing died, so Opportunist doesn't get a chance to go off, and now they're just dead. There's no way they can block in which things don't die, so Dreadhound goes inevitable, which is nice. Dreadhound turns into Thanos, basically. Let's see. Let's see. I don't think we need to do anything different. Got the removal for their annoying things. Should be able to run it back. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else we want. I mean, Barrage technically is a way to deal with Flesh Taker, but we have like multiple ways to deal with Flesh Taker, so I don't need that. Still like No Way Out. I'm not sure. I think we're okay. I don't feel like there's anything. Getting in on them was kind of tough with the Bat Whisperer, though, wasn't it? But I still kind of feel like Bat Whisperer probably, well, it's tough. 3/3s are better against the 2/1s. But Bat Whisperer is better against the Diregraph Horde. Kind of just both options are good, but whatever. I'll run it back like this. I'm okay with it. I mean, we know what we're doing. The plan's not super complicated. White mana with black spells. Don't like it. Gonna mull. Especially expensive black spells. This one we'll keep, and we'll ditch, I guess, an occultist. Just because we have 2 of them. Simple. Well, at least they had to mull too. That's nice. They were pretty aggressive. Let's do the veteran first. Let's go for the life gain plan here. So I suppose we can attack and do the cut purse here. They can draw a card if they want. I'm alright with that. I mean, either way, whether I use Eaten Alive or not, I think I'm going to Eaten Alive, though. At least then we get to draw a card, too. Well, let's do this the smart way, shall we? I don't want to deal with this for the rest of the game, so let's just do this. They get to draw the card too, but whatever. Their dude's dead. I don't have to deal with them drawing cards for the rest of the game anymore. Sure. I don't really care how they block here. Sure. So, We'll play a Cultist and an Awakener. I'm gonna draw more cards. It's like someone's ringing my doorbell. Let's see who it is. All right. What happened? They played another Silversmith. Wait, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go to combat. Oh man, I wanted to play my Unruly Mob. I got distracted by someone who came to the door. I screwed up. Well, be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. Let's do... yeah, Veteran actually makes way more sense. Because then I can do Adeline next turn plus Mob. And that's way better. Oh, attacking. Well, I guess attacking makes sense. Let's go land. Adeline. And get in there. Let's see if they play the Horde here, maybe. Sure. Makes sense. Got to deal with that threat there. Sanctifier. So we've got, what, 7 mana now? So crack this little bad boy. Oh, that's a great draw. All right, well, whatever. I'll do this. Got a lot of Gavany Silversmiths in there. Sheesh. Well, we're going to get Adeline back. It's got to be the best, right? Yeah, for sure. Do I have a zombie? No zombies. All right. I'll live with it. Then we play this little dude. And we can still play the cut purse? Man, does that mean? Just kill the trapper. All right, ended up going 2-1. This deck was super strong. It easily could have gone 3-0, but a little bit of Noah and the Flood in round 1 there. But what can you do? What can you do, folks? Answer the question. What can you do? Let's do some pack one, pick ones. Valdrick. Well, we could try this card out. Otherwise, Purifying Dragon is monocolor and awesome. I feel like I'd take Dragon over Valdrick, to be honest. This is a cool card. I like the effects on it. It's rare, whatever. But Purifying Dragon is just so good. Kill zombies, get a efficient flyer, just ping any creature, kill X1s. This card's great. Probably go Dragon over Valdrick there, yep. A little less build around and always good. Okay, Wake to Slaughter. I've seen this before. I feel like it's only okay. Is there anything else good in here? Not especially. I always want Flame Channeler to be amazing, but you have to have a lot of like spells that deal damage, which seems like you just can't get that many. I really don't feel like taking the rare here. Could take the Tavern Ruffian. This card's pretty good. Turns into just a big, beefy boy. It seems like a pretty lousy pack one, pick one, though. I guess we could... I don't even know how many burn cards there are. I mean, you can burn creatures, too, and still flip it. Maybe Flame Channeler, pack one, and find some way to build around it. All right, pack one here. We've got... Well, Seize the Storm's a fun build around. Beloved Beggar, not exciting, but you get a win con out of it. Warcraft Behemoth's pretty cool. I like the Hauler. I guess I'd go Seize the Storm for excitement factor alone and actually play it early since it grows as you play more. Well, Hostile. I wish this card was good. I'd probably go with... Alchemist is pretty sweet. That's a fun build around. Shadow Beast Sighting is great. I love Worgen Hoarder, obviously. I'd probably go Alchemist. It's an uncommon. It's a fun build around. I'm picking all these blue-red spells things, and I haven't even had that much success with that deck, but it is a good deck. Here I take Dennick. Dennick is quite strong. Good beater. And finally... Pack one, pick one. Probably Rite of Oblivion. Get the double effect on it. Very good. All right. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you for the next one.